Here's the National Library of Kosovo. Brutalist, bulbous, kind of communist architecture. This is how nervous I was. I was like holding on to this piece of paper for dear life. Morning, beautiful Earthlings. It's day 179, April 18th. Taxes are due in the US and I did them 3 days ago. I waited until the last minute, but I finally did them. Yay! So I am finally leaving Pristina. I stayed here almost 2 weeks and I was only supposed to stay in Kosovo for like 3 days, but I stayed like 3 weeks in this country. I love Kosovo. Many reasons. Let's see. They're so much nicer to me than Albania. That's number one. I was able to play badminton here. I met amazing people, lifelong friends, and not that I couldn't have done that in Albania, but there's a difference when you feel welcome in a country and you don't. And the myth that Kosovo people love Americans, they do, and it shows, and you feel it. And it feels nice. And I'm not saying that like every country should welcome another country, but it's just like another layer on top of your experience. So I love Kosovo, but it is time for me to leave because I'm getting too comfortable when I stay in a place too long and I start to nest and I create routines and habits and it makes me not want to move. So that deters me from my goal of riding the world, and we can't do that. So today we are going to clean and lube our chain before we take off. We are overdue on that a little bit, but we're taking care of it. Probably going to go to the newborn art sculpture. I think lighting is good today. It's not too harsh, and we'll see. I kind of want to take my time and meander a bit since I'm going to Skopje today, and it's not too far. It's like an hour and 50-minute ride, but I'm gonna stop by a cave, stop by Gilan, so might get there in the evening, but we'll see. It's actually freaking cold today. It supposedly snowed this morning in Skopje. It was like 34 degrees. Hopefully it'll melt by the time I get there, but it's kind of chilly the next few days. So I actually have my leggings under here, which I rarely wear unless it's really cold. And then I'm already starting with a dual layer, which I don't typically do. I wear a t-shirt to start with. And then as it starts getting colder, I'll put on like more layers. But I already know it's cold. And I know it'll be a little rough today, but it's okay. So let's get started with our day. Yeah, our bike's still here. Here's the National Library of Kosovo. Brutalist, bulbous, kind of communist architecture. Let's take a closer look. We'll take a quick gander since we are a little delayed and I want to avoid the rain. So let's take a close look. Look at this ADA ramp for my architects and engineers and structural engineers. At least they have a landing on each side. I don't know about this. Look at this. Okay, these steps. It's kind of like a geometric facade. It's a bit parametric, but consistent. I studied this. Pretty cool. And you know how like when you put air conditioning units on the roof, they want you to conceal it? I think they concealed these turbines. You can still see through them. Pretty neat, huh? Somebody was looking at me. I think it was a security guard. We're gonna go. Because you're not supposed to park here. Like there's the barricade, but I just rode on the sidewalk. Or not, maybe I didn't. Okay, I've set my GoPro on top of this tripod and there's no attachment to it. I'm just balancing it. And luckily there's nobody here, but I rode up on the sidewalk. Tee-hee! And now I'm just kind of like waiting for these folks to get out of the picture. We did it. There's nobody in my picture. We have a lot of appreciation for the US and what Mr. Clinton did for Kosovo, protecting them from the Serbian bombing. I'm not very political, but I'm actually learning a whole bunch on this trip because we learn world history in like middle school and then like that's it. Unless you have an interest in it, like that education doesn't really go much further. So it's not like we're ignorant, it's just like not in our education system. But you know, you like your country teaches you about your history, but I guess it's not the same because I was talking to some folks out here and they're like, oh, we learn about world history like even in high school, and I'm like, well, I don't know, that wasn't my choice. That's just part of the system, so gotta keep moving. Aw, goodbye, Pristina. We're at Gadime Cave, and I parked my bike down there, and here's the entrance. We'll see inside, and then this says EU, beautiful Kosovo, an EU-funded project management by the EU office in Kosovo. So, let's see. This wasn't pretty deep. Oh, look, a little stumpy thing. You just hear the sound of water dripping. There's a lot of unlit areas. Kind of freak me out. There's a wolf. I don't see any fish. I'm gonna take a picture of this. That's kind of weird. Okay. We're gonna leave this. That was super creepy. Like, I walked in with 5 dudes, and then they went off somewhere, and then I couldn't see them, and then I didn't hear their voices for like 20 minutes, and I was just like wandering by myself. And I think that cave is super creepy because there's not too much lighting, or I think that adds to the ambiance of it, but when you're scared of the dark like me and things that go bump in the night, like, it's creepy to go in there alone. I was gonna say you shouldn't go in there alone, but maybe there's nothing in there, but you never know. Here's something more lighthearted. My heart rate. Look at these chickens. They're huge. Okay. This is how nervous I was. I was like holding onto this piece of paper for dear life. My anxiety, you guys. I made it out of... The cave. Okay, I'm gonna head to Julan, so let's go. I guess I crossed the bridge. There's no railing, so I could have definitely flew into the river. Hey! It's a bike shop. Check out the facade of this house. They have the Albanian eagles in stone up there. Okay, so this is the road from Pristina to Julan. Very hilly. I can imagine it would be very beautiful when everything's green and blooming. But right now we are in April. Okay, so I'm like on the hunt for like an anklet, and there's not really like a touristy place down here in Julan, so I'm gonna have to settle for like a hair tie or something. But I found an R3 and I had to park next to it. I cut across traffic and people were pissed at me, but I don't care. Like, bikes represent. Isn't it nice? Black and red. Fender eliminator. Short muffler. Aftermarket gear shifters. The United States of America. Isn't that funny? And I just like randomly parked here. Okay, it's 11:05 p.m. I am in Skopje, North Macedonia.